Good afternoon and welcome back to Ravenport. I'm sorry for the break-in service. I think it's actually worked in our favour, but the Elgato died and I had to wait till payday to get another one. So you haven't missed much. It's actually the day after yesterday if you're following along with the playthroughs sequentially. And we finished the harvest. We've just sold some corn that we kept overnight because the price wasn't too good. It's not too much better today on the corn, so maybe we are having kind of an effect on the economy. But our break has also allowed some more mods to come out. There are some maps which I shall have a proper look at. There are a couple of very useful mods. One I am particularly pleased about, which is, and I'm amazed this wasn't in the game early on, it is a very simple small horse paddock. Considering horses were such a new feature in the game, I'm surprised there wasn't a way of having just a couple to trial them out and have a play and have a go without having to invest quite so much money. So we're going to look to get into the horse game today in this episode. We're going to have to give up, I think, a little bit of cultivated land. But anyway, for now, we're at the shop and we need to just get some seed because we're running a little low. It's basically just the same price for the seed in the bag. So we'll just buy one of those. That's more than enough for down on the main farm area. Of course, we've got the shed for the pallets at the top. I got it. No, just missed it. With the fertilizer, I've managed to at once. I just don't need to, and I don't want to spend money I don't need to right now. I can't even remember what that one is. That's lime. He can stay there. Don't have to worry about that for a couple more days. Anyway, yes, so we're going to get some horses today. If the horse mod hadn't come out, the small pasture mod, I may have gone for chickens in the spirit of diversity because it's 2019 and diversity is our strength. And just variety basically, although they're a little bit passive. Whereas horses, and basically the principle is you keep them healthy and well, you ride them, which trains them, and their value therefore increases. The lucky people in PC land have for quite some time now had a mod where you can just pay somebody $300 to do that. It's basically a daily limit. You have to ride them for a certain amount of time, up to a daily limit, and that's basically the horse game, and we shall be entering it very short. And we've got this seed. While it's up on here, I was going to clear that bit up where I spilt my seed on the floor. Oh, sorry. Now is this going to do this nicely? Yes, it is. No, it's not. We're getting the animation, aren't we? But it's not actually doing it. It is now. It's got to be very accurate. I think that's actually full. And we'll just head down here. Top up. Can we top? No, this is the one that we found impossible to top up, wasn't it? This might have been a mistake. Maybe that's why I had pallets in my mind. Can I get anywhere near that? We'll leave him for now. We shan't faff. Well, I shall, but it'll be off camera. We'll just put the bag down there. I love the way they stretch and bounce and have their own little physics. Right, we need to go over and get ready to empty the harvester because he's already started on the field of corn. And I think it is the field over here that we have to lose some land. I don't know, I'm a little bit torn. Should we just take a little bit more out of this field? Or take it out of this field? I think, oh, I don't know. I'll have a little think. But anyway, welcome back. I made a couple of videos, just little tutorial things about a game Eve that I've played for 10 years. If any of you have seen those and wonder what on earth they're all about, just let me know in a comment or something. I'll quite happily make a what on earth is this game video. But we're not here to talk spaceships now, are we? Right, you can get back on your way. Now we're prepared, and yeah, we'll get the Huerlimann going. As the Huerlimann ploughs, I am actually measuring trees. Look at how trees, they're coming on beautifully. These are not the trees I expected at all. And they look like they're going to need a little bit more work to trim down. They're going to need to be cut off manually, I'm sure. They've been in a week. I suspect they might be fully grown, but I don't know, so I'm going to leave them. I'm not going to touch any yet. We'll check tomorrow. So that's why I've kind of measured them and I've recorded it. And so if I get roughly the same shot tomorrow, those trees are lined up there with that tree behind them. So we shall see. Meantime, yeah, the bag is not going to empty into that cedar, no way. So I've had a little think. Here's my solution. And I don't know if solution A is going to work, but I do have a solution B. This may empty. Oh, that's not. Weebles wobble when they don't fall down. I like the self-righting bags a lot. I'm not going to get him now, am I? From this angle. And the mods, as they're coming into the game, they really are helping, certainly with the way I like to play, with allowing us to look at different things and elaborate and explore while still on a relatively small budget. It may. I'm trying to empty it into the bucket. I'm being a little bit lazy. There's another way of doing this. It's kind of doing it, but we'll wait. We'll wait till the trailer's empty. We'll empty the bag into the trailer, tip the trailer out, and then just use the bucket. Pity, because those bags are really useful, but not to worry. I've already had a little think, and I've probably made the decision that we're going to take out probably an area behind the pigs here, for the horses, and then as we expand, which I'm sure we shall, it can be sort of in that direction in terms of farmyard, and then we can use the landscaper to make it look nice. Yeah, that's the plan. I think we'll see how we can develop up here. I was thinking of putting the horses somewhere else, but no. So we're just going to use the bucket now with the light on so I can find it, just to pick up this seed here, which ended up being loose exactly because I had the bucket. Yeah, I emptied it by accident into the bucket. Is that zapped all of it up in one go? There's a little bit left there. There you go. And the bag also emptied as I moved it over the bucket with the is this gonna work? Or am I just completely snookered? Did any of that go in? Oh no, that's just going on the floor. 840. You get the animation, but it just doesn't go in. And I'm sure these things here should be open for seed to go in. No, it's on the floor. Okay, pallets it is then. I love the bags, but we must need to get pallets for this here cedar. So we'll just leave you back in there on the floor. Lesson learned, not a nightmare. Okay, we got the pallet of seed. We can fill this up, hopefully, just by putting it down here. Well, we know we can. Doing it the old-fashioned way. I don't know if the problem is with those bags or with that cedar, but we don't need to worry too much. Right, so now we can get here and we can refill our sower. Fantastic. We'll put the front loader gear down over here because it just gets in the way over on the field. We don't really want the seeder open quite yet. Plenty of fertilizer in there, and then we'll get the harvester going over on this field. So because we're kind of building and doing stuff today, the whole kind of harvest routine is out the window, to be honest with you. We haven't done the top fields yet today. We'll do those last. It kind of happens. The inevitable disruption of expansion. Right, we're going to put corn in again. So off you go. Right, harvester still has just over 2,000 corn inside him, so we're going to put that straight in the trough. We've got just over a day's worth in there anyway, and we've got plenty of all the other food types. So yeah, we're well ahead. We've got days of food, but I'll just put this little bit in there. Right, and we shall put his pipe away. I want to enable the straw swath, and we'll get this guy going. And as you can see, today we have planted barley because we want some straw. We'll top up the barley. And also, yes, I did a mission yesterday. It wouldn't let me pick up the straw off the mission, which it did before, I'm sure. I didn't actually look back at an old episode to check. So I think that's changed. But I did have a sneaky plan of stealing the straw from the mission field, and it wouldn't let me pick it up by any method. And you just see, actually, watching this guy, the silly turns they do, which is what kind of bumps your wage costs up. So if you are free to do so, at least turn your guys round. The harvester in particular, and it's caught me out a couple of times where you take over manually while it's in the middle of a big turn on the field, and then crop destruction switches on because you're controlling the vehicle, and you make a little mess. Right, this guy's just about finished. I'm just going to let them get on because I need some work to be done by the harvester to clear this area of the field out. And I think when the decision is made, we're basically just going to take this kind of rectangle back here out of cultivation, and we shall use it kind of from this point here, and we'll use this area to build up and develop our farm, something like that. Look at him. See, and if I were to take over and just kind of sort him out, I'd run over the crops because he's right in the field. Odd. The Huerlimann is struggling, bless him. Look, he's supposed to have 20 horsepower spare to use this seeder, but he's not. The front weight is probably a bit too heavy as well for him, but the seeder itself is quite a considerable weight, so we'll give up on that plan. I just wanted to get cracking on the field over here. We're going to just leave the Huerlimann up here for a second. Bless him, all 90 horsepower. He's doing what we need him to do. So we need to make a little bit of progress up on this field. We're picking up some straw. We're right here, so I'm literally just going to use the old bucket and run technique. No point in using the trailer. Because the trough's right behind us. It's going to be quicker just to put it in there. Yeah, there we go, look. It's almost like one of those little mini games. If you have multiplayer, you could have a race. And straight in here. And we're going to see if we can actually make this look a little bit more cozy for the pigs. Because again, you know, we've got days worth of straw there for our pigs. But it looks ever so bare. And yeah, this texture is not exactly pleasant. It looks a bit harsh. Looks like it's been muddy and then been baked in the sun. Probably not nice on the trotters. And then the advantage of the corn seeder is it has got that extra width. It's doing the fertilizing, so this guy can catch up. But as I say, today's a bit of a write-off in terms of routine and smooth process because we've got these odd jobs to do. So yeah, mods, we're going to get ourselves a small horse paddock. There is a manure cell buy point mod which is of interest, as is another tractor Another green tractor, which is kind of pleasant. We have green team, but we shall have a look at those. That's why I'm trying to really just make a bit of extra money. We haven't sold the pigs yet. Bear that in mind. We got 23,000 nearly, and we've got another 12,000 to come today from pig sales and the rest of the harvest. We sold the corn that we got from the other field, so we got this barley to sell, and we got the 2 fields of soy, which are usually around, let's see what the soy price is like today. We get about 20,000 up there. The price, well, we're headed up 974, and Central Grain Elevator isn't too far from those fields, so that's kind of cool. And there we are. Anyway, you can see what's going on. I'm going to carry on with it until it doesn't need doing anymore. Okay, we finished harvesting what was actually wheat. I think I said barley a couple of times. We're topping up the pigs, although we already had 2 days worth in there. They use about 60 pigs, eat about 1,500 wheat or barley a day, but they won't take oats. Remember that. We found that out, didn't we? So this guy now needs to go to the top fields. He can have a little rest. The Huerlimann is going to sell the wheat, and the best price right now is right next door with our friends at the restaurant. That's good. We've been very lucky with this sell point, actually. It has often had the best price. And as I said, the soy, the best price for that today is at the sell point up by those fields anyway, so that's kind of cool. So we'll get this sold, and then we'll have even more money. So plenty. And we've got pigs to sell. There's our dozen pigs. It'll take us back down to 60. In no great rush to sell them during the day. We sell 12 and end up with 61. That's fine. We could just kind of gradually increase the population over time, and then maybe every so often do an extra run up to the dealers and sell some more. So I'm not sure what to do about the rest of the straw. I may pick it up, but let's just see how we're doing for money when I finish what we've got to do. Now, this guy is going to be sent to the store. But first of all, we are going to go into the animal pens, and we are going to buy ourselves a small horse paddock. And I have decided we can zoom out with the up and down on the D-pad. The entrance is opposite the shed. We're going to put it up in this corner, nicely kind of out the way, not too far. I'm just going to zoom in to check the level, because this ground isn't too level. If I put it about, I want it to kind of be level at this end. That looks a bit floaty. Let's go for there. I don't want it to be too expensive, and I don't want it to be too much up on a kind of hump. So I'll just turn it a little bit more, and we'll go for that. We jump out of the fence and toddle over here. So basically, here is our tiny little 2-horse pasture. Here is the gate. It looks like a piece of wire. It is a gate. You will need to open the gate, because you need to drop the water here into the old bathtub, and you need to put the hay and the oats over here. So you need to get a vehicle in here. Yeah, so you need to back a trailer in here, and then bring a bucket or a bale in over here. And then I'm guessing the horses won't escape, but we're going to close the gate anyway. And it's as simple as that. So we're going to sell the pigs and pick up a couple of horses. So I shall see you there to do that. Getting up to the animal dealers. Now, I'm not sure it's actually going to let me move horses with this trailer. I don't think it will. Now, I've had a little think about it. So we want to get over to that side, and we want to sell the 12 pigs. Confirmed, $12,000. Hello, train. And now we'll open the animal dialogue box. We've got pigs, we've got sheep, we've got Brahman horse. Right, okay, there you go. So we're going to buy... Oh, I don't know. What should we get? We've got a Pinto. I used to have a Capri with a Pinto engine in it. Right, and we'll go for a day. And we'll confirm. So we've got $12,000 worth of pigs for these two beautiful $10,000 worth of ponies. And we know we've just missed, the train's just gone, so we'll be a little bit cheeky. They like it, look at them, big grins. We'll get these guys back down to the pasture. These are also, I think, going to be the most fun way to kind of go around and explore the map, which is another reason why, again, I'm surprised you couldn't, they weren't more accessible. Certainly in a working farm, of course, you can always just load in a game and buy some horses and ride them to have a go, but I like it that we can just have a couple. I kind of guess it kind of messes up the breeding because we've got no room for them to breed into, as it were, capacity wise. But in terms of training, I think we can actually make very good money. I'm not sure how long it takes. Right. The animal dialogue box is right here by the gate. And we shall move our two ponies. They've been called Annabelle and Eclipse. I think you can change the names, but I don't know if I've missed the opportunity to do that. And look at them. They already look very happy. It's a bit shady over here in the afternoon from that tree, but that's nice. Don't want the sun on all the time. Never keep a horse by itself because it drives them mad. There's a field nearby here. I live in a very equestrian area. There's a field near here with a really big Shire horse and a tiny little Shetland pony that have hung out for years now. Yeah, you never keep a horse by itself. So we've got two. Can we change the names? Let's go on the animal screen. Horse Paddock. I can rename. If anyone wants to suggest names, I was going to go for Ratchet and Clank, but they've got Annabelle and Eclipse, they're quite nice. So you can see on there, the top bar with the horsey head and the red bit, 5%, that's how trained they are, I believe. Now, the one below is like health, stamina, and then the one below is cleanliness, because after you've ridden them, you do need to give them a quick wash. The horses are going to need some water, some straw, some oats, and some hay. So, we've got water and we've got straw, we need oats and we need hay. But for two horses, I'm not going to plant oats to provide them with food, and we're not making hay. So, I'm just going to buy a bale. They're very cheap. We'll sort that out at the shop. It really won't cost us much, and I think it'll keep these two horses going for a good long while. They're in, so I'll get the rest of the bits and pieces sorted out, and then we'll see how we can fill these troughs. Because I've just full. Well, we'll see. I guess the straw maybe goes there and the food stuffs go here. But we shall find out after I've got some. At the shop, in the big bags section, we've got one oat big bag. It's $1,400 for 1,000. It's a horrendous price, really. But we only need the one. And we are then going to go into the bale section, and this is brand new on console, being able to buy bales. We are going to buy ourselves a nice bale of paper, $650, and using the front loader and the spike on the back. Now I'm going to switch to the spike on the back, and if he'll spike the bale, I think he's going to be best off carrying the bale back. But I have not attempted this previously, so let's see if we just shove it, or we spike it. We've spiked it, so we'll lift him up. I think we can tip him back. You can't disengage the controls if you see on the front, but once we've switched back to the front tool, then we can manipulate the front forks without messing around with the back ones. Right. So oats in the front, hay in the back. That's going to make some happy horses. Now, what I also don't know yet, oh my word, there we go, let's not go too quickly. I was a bit overexcited there. So we need to switch back to the, this could get confusing now. Right, switch back to the back tool. To do this, I think I'm going to have to do that and detach the front arms and then just come back here and get this bale back on. That's really not going to work with a pallet on there at all. Right, get him nice and flat. Remember to drive backwards. Oh, that was awful, sorry. I was not in the reversing frame of mind there at all. Right, up. And tilt him back as far as we can. There you go. And just take it easy. That looked a bit odd, right? Not quite sure what happened there. And a little bit more gently. As I was saying before I dropped the bale, I don't know if the bale will go straight into the earth, as it were, or not. It seems to vary. I've found some that need a shredder and some that will take a bale straight in. Let's see when we get there. We're going to take this way. Through the bush. No crops to worry about. I just don't know if it's financially viable to pick up this straw and sell it. We don't really need it. We can't store any more here. Right. So, if I'm half right about this, no, I'm not going to try and poke the pallet through that hole. That would be ridiculous, right? Are the horses... I can see a bit of an issue here. I'm assuming the horses are non-collidable objects because this could be a little bit... excuse me. Eclipse. Excuse me. Honk honk. Right, thank you. That's fine. Right, are you going to empty food over here? Yes, you are. And I have no idea. This is my very first experience of the ponies. I have had a very quick ride around on a map. Right, that's the wheat in Fulham. Sorry, the oats in Fulham. I'm on the wrong pen. Not much of a bar, but as we've seen with the pigs, the bars... Eclipse. Are you Annabelle or Eclipse? Sorry, I've got to start remembering it. Annabelle. Annabelle, excuse me. Thank you. Right. Oh, sorry guys, I'm just... Annabelle is obviously okay with this. I've got to spin this tractor around. Sorry, Eclipse. Beep. Okay, this could be done. Yeah, there's probably nicer ways of doing this, to be fair. Is that going to go anywhere there? No. Don't worry, no horses were injured in the making of this video. Right. You're not going to go... It's not the end of the world if we need a shredder, because they're incredibly cheap. That's going nowhere. I'm just going to check. Watch out, Eclipse. These spikes up beyond Omnia. I'm going to try putting this down here. No. And I'm just going to make sure. If you look, the dialogue box isn't actually marked. So I'm wondering, is there a chance there's another one that isn't marked? Or should we just try the shredder? We're going to go for a shredder. Back to the shop. I'm just going to see if we'll go into the dialogue box. Nope. Okay, off we go. Oh, there you go. That's a little bit odd. Well, as you may have seen there, the yeah, you put the bale of hay in about here. We'll figure that out another time, but the horses now have loads of hay and plenty of oats by the look of it. We'll keep an eye on that. Water and straw. Okay. So yeah, so it seemed to just disappear as you saw, and I had to record that on the Xbox recorder because I'd switched this off. Did not expect that at all. There you go. Wonder how many people have given up on that. Right. Let's just drop that back one because he's a bit of a pain. I've hooked a bag now. Wow, there you go. We can leave those here because the bale... No, we don't need a bale shredder now, do we? Very overexcited. We'll drop the forks there. Right in the way. We'll gently get him back out of the way. That bag. There you go. Back off. Oh, go on. Now we can just drop the forks. I don't really make this easy for myself, do I? Could have just moved the Huerlimann and the bits and bobs there. At least I put the animal trailer in a slightly more sensible space today, rather than out right next to the field. There you go. Right, so let's get some straw. And some water. And our cavalry department will be absolutely tickety-boo. Right. Straw. I think there's still some in this tanker. There's none in this tanker. Might as well leave that there. So, we'll zoom in and put the lights on. Now this should be straightforward, that the straw goes in here. There we are. Just the water to fetch. So I'll go and refill the tanker at the pool over by the railway bridge and come and do that. Okay, we have water. I'm just wondering if I can... There you go, I don't actually need to take it in. So, water for the horses. And I will try to figure out where that drop-in point for the bale actually was. Maybe the dialogue box does it too. Right, that's full. So, we've given them everything we can. We'll see how long that food lasts. As I say, it's an expensive way of feeding your horses, but for the amount we need, oats just isn't a good cash crop. So I don't think it's going to be, you know, it would save us money to grow it. We're getting more money growing soy and corn in the same field, and the pigs can't eat it, so they are much more the priority for such things. Right, we'll just have a little clean up while we're here. And I think we could probably get away with not touching the pigs apart from the cleaning for about 3 days now. Let's see. Yeah, we need about 3,000 corn a day plus a bit for the growth. It's 1,500 barley a day plus a bit for the growth, and 1,200 soy. We got nearly 12 days worth there. And potatoes are still, we're only using 300 a day. Why are those bars red? I don't get it. I really don't get it. But there you go. I'll stop banging on about it now, shall I? So we've almost emptied that trailer in. Again, that's probably 10 days worth of water. So maybe the troughs, yeah. Well, that water trough I think is taking 12 days worth. Let me have a look at my spreadsheet. Water, 10. No, we're using 600 a day. So that means if that is 100% full, that's 20 days worth. So are the troughs 20 days capacity? We're full of straw. Let me do another sum here and check. Straw we're using 1,200 a day. So that's 10. That's 15 days straw. I don't know. They're big. They're vast. If they're full, you can go on holiday. That's all you really need to know. I hope they scale, or maybe they don't scale if you've got lots of animals. If you know, if you've got like 100 pigs or 100 cows, have you found that the bars don't change colour but the numbers kind of do, if you see what I mean? Let me know. I'd be interested. And here we are riding on a pony. It's all very simple. You walk up to your pony and press X. You use the right trigger to step through trot. Sorry, walk, trot, and then we can go to canter. We can go to gallop. And we can jump. And then we can reverse with the left trigger, then down to stationary, and we can do a nice kind of proper little horsey walking back thing. And you basically ride your pony. I'm having a little canter around. I'm just going to see when we get back. And this is probably the most fun I've ever had on a horse. I've ridden horses about 4 times in my life, and they were interesting experiences. The last time involved a horse deciding it wanted to back its big fat rear end out into 60-mile-an-hour traffic, whilst I wondered what on earth to do about that. Right, let's have a little look. Annabelle, right, Annabelle has now had 56% of her daily riding, as you can see. She's a little bit dirty, so if we get off, we need to give her a little bit of a brush, I believe. Or is she not dirty enough to clean yet? I'm not sure. Or is the animal dialogue box confusing everything? Let's just walk back in here. Eclipse has made no effort to escape, even though I left the gate open, which is nice to know. Right, can we give you a clean now? Clean, B button. And there's nothing to do to it, it's done. So if we look now at young Annabelle, she's 100% clean, she's in rude health, she's 5% trained. She's only had 58% of her training for the day. So I'm going to continue doing that. Oh, that was confusing. Once you're on an animal, you can switch to the animal as it was a vehicle. I'm sure before, the moment you got off a horse, it reset to the paddock, but no, I worked on that basis and found that if you just scroll through the animals, the vehicles, you go back to the animal you were riding. So I am going to give Annabelle the rest of her ride time for today. I'm going to leave you here. We'll be back very soon. Thanks for watching. Leave a like. Any comments are always welcome. And for now, thank you very much for watching, and goodbye. No crop damage either. Cool.